No new cases of COVID-19 confirmed in Muskoka. A local business pivots amid the pandemic. And a local mom takes a chance on a possible future modeling career. All that and more coming up right now. Welcome to Cogeco News for June the 4th. I'm James Bowler with what's happening in your community. Well, a familiar scene continues to show up outside Huntsville's Town Hall this week.
This was yesterday's scene outside Town Hall in Huntsville as protesters came together to rally against the unjustified death of American black man George Floyd and overall speak out against racism and police brutality. Protesters returned again today to their town hall spot and reportedly have plans to return again tomorrow to continue to spread their message of peace. Yesterday, protester Mustafa Mukhtar said he felt comforted seeing others joining his own cause to stamp out racism.
It's not like I'm gonna sit down and just blame it on all other people, but just some people that are bad. Not all people are bad. Yeah, it's really important because at the end of the day, it makes me feel like I'm loved. It makes me feel like people are out here to show me support. It makes me feel like people are listening, people are watching, and there's hopeful for the future. Because at the end of the day, we are nothing but all one race, human race. That's it.
Well, some good news once again, as no new cases were reported in Muskoka today. However, there were two new cases, reported on the Simcoe side of our healthcare coverage border. This comes after yesterday's groundbreaking report that we had 0 new confirmed cases across the entire health unit in Simcoe, Muskoka. Now, despite the low infection rate here, in his news conference earlier today, Dr. Charles Gardner warned against letting down our guard.
Just want to commend everybody for our success together. We do need to keep all of that up because we know that there's some circulation still happening, and this can take off on us again if we relax our controls and let down our guard together. And there are some hot spots of concern in the province as well. The Greater Toronto area and in Toronto have much higher rates of transmission, and they are neighbors of ours, so once again that speaks to the potential for transmission here if we're not careful.
Now, a local restaurant owner has been forced to pivot his business model amid COVID-19.
We had to come to the realization when this all started to develop that, $220 may be a write-off.
Jeff Sotheby, owner of 3 Guys and a Stove in Huntsville, has had to pivot his business amid COVID-19. Tactics include opening a food truck beside the restaurant, something he never thought he would do.
Absolutely not. We sat and strategized what is the best way to do it. And, certainly we feel that even as we move past COVID, hopefully in the next year or so, what's standing behind me will still be there then as well, which will only enhance what we've been currently doing, and it opens up a new market for it. So it creates opportunities into the future without a doubt.
Opportunities to expand his business and brand at a very troubling time for the restaurant industry.
What I'm hearing is that prior to reopening restaurants, whether it be on a 50% capacity, 25, we don't know that information yet. What I'm hearing is 1 out of every 10 will not reopen again, and we're hearing it now slowly but surely coming out. And, the biggest shocker to me is once we get through the summer and into the fall, what I'm hearing is that another 2 out of 10 will go down. Because the summer of 2020 is certainly unknown at this point in time. And are we going to be busy? Are we not going to be busy? We have to be socially responsible. We want to protect our community. Do we want to see, I'd love to say I have a big lineup of 1,000 people out in front of the food truck, but in reality, that's the last thing I want to see at this point in time. Because I want to be responsible to our community, and that's very important.
Sotheby hopes to open the restaurant within the next few weeks as restrictions allow. He says he really has no choice but to take it all in stride.
No one forecasted this. No one expected this. We started to hear about it around February, obviously. and everything went crazy on us mid-March. And so we're just in a position where, I have to admit, from mid-March until the end of March, it was a hard reality for me as a business owner to realize, okay, let's just break even in 220, and 221 is just around the corner.
So we've heard many times how local businesses are affected by this pandemic. The question is, how is the tourism sector affected? Well, if you stick around after the break, you'll find out. Welcome back, and joining me now, I'm very pleased to introduce once again to our studio after I think it's almost been a year now, and it's been a while since we've had anyone in the studio for COVID-19 reasons, but James, the Tourism Master Murphy, the Executive Director of RTO 12, also known as Explorer's Edge in Muskoka here.
Well, thank you for having me.
James, I appreciate you coming in. I mean, I know we've been talking quite a bit. It's been for anyone who's had a turbulent time, I think you've had it about 10 times worse in terms of trying to deal with this situation. And I know you've been busy, so thank you for taking the time to come in today and to chat with me.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been challenging times. I think, we as an organization have it lightly compared to the business owners out there, which we represent. It's been a challenging, frustrating, sobering time for them as well during this process, which started unfolding the end of February, really. So it's been challenging to say the least. We've had a lot of frontline, our team, speaking to operators about what they're going through and how to navigate the barrage of rapid fire information and programs that are out there to help them. And also information on sort of how to move forward under these circumstances. Not just for the industry, which is very important. Tourism makes up 14% directly of jobs in this region, which stretches from Whitney all the way to Parry Sound that we represent, and from South River, Port Loring and Restoule, all the way down to Gravenhurst. And it's just been, it's been a time where we have to be very diligent and very open and very transparent about what we do, because it's an ecosystem up here, and it's not just about the mighty tourism dollar, as important as the tourism industry but there's the health and safety of our healthcare workers, our frontline staff, our tourism frontline staff, and the business owners and operators.
People,
just
right?
people. It's so important, and we've had the shutdown. Even today on the way here, there was updates and announcements, which I haven't had the chance to really get into. But announcements that impact 1,700 operators, which we represent, and 25% of them are still not out of the woods yet. And I think in speaking to the operators, the last thing anybody wants is for this industry to be shut down again, because that will be the nail in the coffin. You don't get started back up and then shut down again. So this ecosystem involves so many facets because it's so ingrained in our area, and conversations with healthcare and with frontline staff and with business owners, because the tourism in our region is very important. But the business owners in our region that have these tourism properties are the frontline workers. They're not removed from the everyday business. And they don't want to be the cause of another breakout, but then again, they don't want to lose their livelihood, which they've spent decades to build, and they're very passionate about it. So, it requires conversation, it requires dialogue, it requires empathy and understanding, and all those things that really make up what makes us a great tourism destination, safe and happy. But the acknowledgement of now, after 5 or 6 years of a tourism growth, we started to open up new markets. We had Porter come, and by the way, it wasn't unexpected. We respect the decision of Porter to shut down some of their seasonal routes. We weren't the only ones. Stevensville was shut down as well too, and we have a great working relationship with Porter, the executives there, and as well as the executive director of the airport, Len O'Connor. Constant conversations of what this will look like, and we're very confident we'll pick up when the time is right and go pick up where we left off. But there has been years of growth. The businesses, were reinvesting in their properties. That's the beauty of the small business owner up here. They reinvest in the community and their properties. They just don't take the money elsewhere. So we saw growth in tourism coming, and it's grounded to a halt.
This summer is pretty much off the table. Next summer, we're probably still going to be under some type of COVID-19 situation because the vaccine may not come out till the fall. Just quickly tell me what your perspective of next summer could be looking like.
It's going to look different. But it's going to be positive. Right now, business owners are sparing no expense, taking the right moves to ensure the safety of staff and travelers and people, whether it's clearing out half the tables at a restaurant, or looking at different check-in policies and making sure staff has all the right gear to interact. And also, it's not just about the summer too. We're putting in programs that will help businesses understand what space looks like at their property. And also for some of those operators that have never invested in winter tourism, maybe now's the time. So the old model of making your money in the summer, getting you through the winter, and then deposits in the spring, getting you in the summer, maybe it's time to retrofit your property. But they don't know how to do that, and they don't know the first step. So how can we help them with that without being a burden on their bottom line? Okay. So there's things like that. So summer will look different. I'm positive that between now and then, the business owners and the people on the front lines can have those conversations, what works and what doesn't.
Okay, we got to go to break. Before we do, you have a lot of support here in Muskoka, and I just, that I've always been a big supporter of Explorer's Edge, and I wanted to show you something quickly. Sure. You'll remember this, if you look at the screen, you remember this hat here. Yeah. The hat has survived, I think, what's it been, 3 or 4 years now?
We'll get you a new hat. I would have brought a new hat for you.
But I do like to show it off whenever I can in opportunities. So, we just wanted to let you know we do support you here for Explorer's Edge. So thank you for all you guys do.
You're welcome. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
All right, we are going to take a quick break. We will be right back after this. Welcome back. Two major events in Muskoka are being canceled well ahead of their expected run dates. Earlier this week, the Huntsville Fall Fair was canceled over concerns of COVID-19 pressures. This was quickly followed by the cancellation of the Bracebridge Fall Fair as well. Samantha Johnson followed up with that event's organizer to hear about the decision behind canceling such a long-standing event in our community.
It was a tough decision. Of course, we've been kind of chatting amongst ourselves for the last couple months, just what the possibility or what the summer would look like, and it was a tough decision. All our directors did have their say, and pretty much everybody was in agreement that it is the right thing to do, and I think everybody was very disappointed. And you know, it has been like, this would be our 153rd, I believe, and it's been a fair every year in Bracebridge, so we were quite disappointed, and on a good weekend we can have thousands come through come through the fair and see all the exhibits and whatnot, and yeah, it was a tough decision. And I know we did talk about it a lot, and it just came down to the logistics of safety for everybody. And of course, at this point in time, the government has also there's no big gatherings, so that was the other side of it. And we're a volunteer base, so one of the reasons our fair is successful is we do use so many volunteers. And we're definitely concerned about their safety, and of course the safety of the public as well. So hopefully, touch wood, somehow we get through this, and we'll maybe try and have a big and better fair next year, and maybe try and put our effort into trying to do something big for next year, because we will miss this year for sure.
And a local sewing group is still plugging away at trying to make Muskoka a safer community against COVID.
It's been over 2 months now, and I'm absolutely flabbergasted that we are still at it. Our goal was 1,000, and we've given out over 3,000 now, and I'm here today to give out a few more, hoping people will take them. It's a free service. We had about 60 people involved. We're down to about 20 now, 20 keen, mostly quilters, and they're making some fabulous products, and so I'm here to give them out. First effort was to get to the nursing homes and frontline. We handed out hundreds there, and then we reached out to places like condos and apartment buildings where people are a little more prone to something. And now we're doing individuals and just making sure. We want to mask the town, as Barb says. And so by doing that, we're hoping to do our bit. They're free. We're asking that people just pay it forward in some way, and yeah, it's good. They email Barb, and Barb gets in touch with me, and I set them out on my front porch.
Well, I think it's time we take a break from all the COVID news, so when we come back, we've got a story of a different kind. Welcome back. A local mother is hoping to make a big splash nationally by becoming Maxim's next cover girl.
Kristen Tovey is taking on an exciting and nerve-wracking challenge. She wants to become the next cover model for Maxim magazine. The Huntsville Mother recently signed up for a contest searching for the next cover model and was approved in the initial stage by the judges.
So I got into this one night when I was just laying in bed and I was bored. My kids were in bed, and I came across the ad and I figured, why not? Let's go for it. I created my profile, my bio, sent in pictures, and then I was handpicked through a judging panel to make it onto the top 1,000 out of over 30,000. And I'm hoping to keep going and make it onto the next round and the round after that, and hopefully win.
Tovey is currently in second place in her own group against 36 other women for this first round of voting, which ends this week. But she'll need more support if she wants to continue to make it on to the final round.
I hope that I can continue to go, and I hope that I continue to have the support, and I'll take it as far as I can go. And the whole thing is exciting, and even just to get this far is amazing. Like it's been a huge experience for me.
No matter what the outcome, though, Tovey says she's thankful for the experience and is looking forward to possibly pursuing a career in modeling in the future.
It's never something that I expected, and the fact that I've gotten this far is overwhelming to me. It's amazing, and it's empowered me to want to keep going and to hopefully help women and tell people that it's okay, you can go forward with what you want and go for it.
If Tovey were to win this contest, she would be given $25,000, some of which she says she'd donate to the local hospice.
And we are taking our last break, but stay tuned for Briar Summers with Muskoka on stage.
It's time once again to take a look at all the great shows you can enjoy without ever having to leave the comfort of your own home. Are you ready for more of what Hunters Bay Radio's Quarantunes has to offer? This week, Bette Smith, along with Rob Curry, joined the club by offering up some of her ear-soothing tunes that float between alternative folk and traditional country. The show starts on the Hunters Bay Radio Facebook page at 7 p.m. And you can also tune in Saturday at 7 p.m. for a performance from the amazing indie pop singer Megan Bailey from Barrie. Grab all the details on these shows and more by heading over to the Hunters Bay Radio Facebook page. To keep the little ones entertained during this time, check out the fun, family-friendly, and educational songs by Bette Smith's Betty and the Turnips. New videos will be posted every week or so on the Gravenhurst Opera House website. And for more local flavor, why not check out the Essential Concert Series running again tonight out of Aurelia, but online for anyone to enjoy. Tonight's show will feature musical father and son duo Sean and Baze Murray from the band Ray. All proceeds raised from this concert will support Aurelia Soldiers Memorial Hospital. Find more details on the Essential Concert Series Facebook page. The Stocky Center begins its season of Bands on the Bay online next week. On Tuesday, June 9th at 4 p.m., catch Muskoka's own Filthy Rich and the Empty Pockets, playing radio-friendly rock and pop songs that you know and love. The show will be streamed on the Stocky Center's Facebook page. That's all for now, but I'll be back with more incredible virtual shows next week.
That's Cogeco News. For more information on the program, head over to yourtv.tv or connect with us on social media, Your TV Muskoka. And remember to watch us live at 5 Monday to Thursday from everyone here at Cogeco News. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.